Win streak to Salt Lake City on Friday night. Kyle Kuzma had 41 against the Pistons on Wednesday. A lot of responsibility on Donovan Mitchell these days with all those point guards sitting out. And he's ready for it. Knocks down the three. Here comes Brandon Ingram. Oh.
I love seeing him attack the rim if I'm a Laker fan. You really want to see Brandon start to find himself a little bit while LeBron and Rondo are out.
Sexiest two of his 15 on the night. Here's Mitchell. Funky Euro drive and then brings the funk against JaVale McGee.
This is the Donovan Mitchell we saw at this time last year. Really take off, attacking, from both outside and then attacking the rim and finishing over bigger guys.
That's big game hunting. That's what that is. On McGee and a 16-point lead by Utah. Lakers on the run, as they're wont to do, but that's turned away by Mitchell. And on the other end, Rudy Gobert. Somebody translate cherry picking into French for me. Gobert had 12 and 18 rebounds. Third quarter, it's Mitchell. Knocks down the three. And a step back three here. He's 20 of 39 from the great beyond over his last 6 games in January, averaging just under 26 points per game. With the win, Utah is just a game back of the Lakers for the 8th spot in the West.
Yeah, this is where it gets really dangerous. This stretch before All-Star and certainly after the stretch run after All-Star weekend.
Continue to move forward as long as everything's feeling good. So we're not. Our thoughts right now are on the Utah Jazz and really how we're going to try to win this game tonight. And we have all the confidence that LeBron and Mike, who's back with them, and the rest of the trainers he's working with right now are getting him healthy.
Hello again, basketball fans. Welcome to Game Time Live, presented by State Farm. Rick Campbell with champions, Steve Smith and Brendan Haywood. We're here on a 9-game Friday, and we just heard from Lakers coach Luke Walton about LeBron James, who's missed the past 8 games with a strained left groin. He is going to miss, as we have heard, at least the next 3 games. So, guys, let's take a look at the Lakers' next 7 games. So, we know he's not playing tonight. He's not playing Sunday against the Cavs. He's not playing Tuesday against the Bulls. He might be able to return Thursday at OKC on TNT. How many wins do you see here, Smitty and B. Wood?
You talking about those first 3 games, or are you talking about this 7-game run
thing
right here? I see right now, if he's not back, that's a tough stretch when you start talking about at Thunder, at Rockets, and Warriors. So if without LeBron James, out of the 7, I see them winning 3.
I see it like a spades hand. I see 3 in the possible. Because there's a possibility tonight against the Utah Jazz, and then you see teams like the Cavs on there, the Bulls, and the Timberwolves. So I see 3 in the possible.
I got 3.
So, LeBron James, as we say, he may be able to come back next Thursday. There's no promises on that. And as Luke Walton said, he's working with his team to try to get back. This injury obviously dates back to Christmas. So, B. Wood, I'll start with you. How long can the Lakers afford to be without LeBron James and still realize their goals of making the playoffs?
Well, I think it comes down to, first of all, how good this team continues to play and which Lakers team we see. Are they going to be the team that, didn't perform well? They're going to be the team that gets these W's. But at the end of the day, I think by the time, if he's back by the time they play Minnesota or sometime before that, I think they'll be just fine. And if they can find a way to hover around 500 in those games, because right now they're 23-19, they're sitting in the 8th place. If they can hover around 500 as far as those wins in those next couple of games, they'll be fine. But the problem is if they snowball and they lose a bunch of games in a row, you know how it is in the West. It's not like the East. In the West, if you lose 3 or 4 games in a row, you can go from 8th to 13th really, really quickly.
Yeah, and I look at it, B. Wood said it best. The one thing is I think they have to fight against is, and I know LeBron James won't rush back, but do you want 100%, not 100%, a healthy LeBron James coming back, whether that's 10 games from now, 15 games from now, or if you bring him back too early? So they're going to have to wait, and I know LeBron will wait. B. Wood said it best. They got to hover around 500, especially in these next 7 games. In 10 games, they got to go at least 500, because in the Western Conference, you lose 5 games. But if you lose 7 or 8, you could be sitting around 13th, 14th in the West.
Check out this intrigue tonight in Utah. The Jazz come in 9th place. The Lakers are in 8th place, separated by 2 games. But Let's talk LeBron and DMPs and possible MVP. Of course, last year played all 82 games. This year he has missed 8. He's going to miss at least 3 more. That puts it at 11. Here are the fewest games played by an NBA MVP. Walton back in 77-78 played 58. Iverson 71. Harden last year 72. And Nash in 04-05 played 75. Just don't ask Shaq about that. So how many games, Smitty, can LeBron miss and still win MVP?
Bill Walton played only 58, right? So I'm looking at it. Bill Walton played 58. I think for LeBron, reasonably, I think he can't miss more than 15 games. Mm-hmm. But the numbers he's put up, if he can come back and he's only missed 15 games, and they can shoot up to around 3rd place in the West, and he put up tremendous numbers, he has a chance. But there's some other guys, no matter what, and all the other guys we talked about MVP. But I think 15 is the number for me, B. Wood.
Yeah, I think I'm right in there with you. Somewhere between 15. They might give him 20 just because he's LeBron, if he's doing something spectacular. Like if he were to get the Lakers, let's say, to the 3rd seed or the 2nd seed, something that we did not foresee at the beginning of the season, and he missed 20 games, I think he'd have a really strong shot at it. But I'm with you. I think it's that number's closer to 15. But more importantly, the Lakers have to win basketball. They can't be the 8th seed or the 7th seed. They have to be somewhere within the top 4 to even have a chance, because there's a lot of really deserving candidates when you start talking about Kawhi and Giannis and Harden. There's some big names, Paul George.
Jokic.
The Joker's in there. I don't think he really has a true shot to get it, but I think he's up there.
Oh, I'm with
B. Wood. Do you think he has a true shot to get it?
He's playing extremely well. And let's not say we're not saying he's not playing well, but I think when you just start to come down to being realistic, unless he can go on a tremendous run, I think he's played extremely well. They have to stay in 1st or 2nd for him to get it. But when you start looking at those big names, it's going to be Harden, Giannis, Kawhi, all those guys. I don't think he has a shot.
When you say that Jokic probably can't get it, it's not disrespecting him. He is doing phenomenal things. 18 and 10, 7 assists, helping lead this team even though they've been through a lot of injuries. The thing is, there's a lot of other guys on really good teams that have these incredible numbers. When you talk about Giannis is 27 and 13, and they're the best record in the NBA. And then you have what Kawhi Leonard is doing from a two-way standpoint and still getting you 26 points per game. And Toronto's playing well. So the Joker's in the mix somewhere, probably top 7 to 8.
7, 8. Yep.
But when you talk about actually winning the award, it's going to be hard, unless he goes on a run like Smitty said, because he's going to have to get his numbers into that category. MVP isn't just about wins. It's normally about the best combination of next-level stats combined with the wins, and that's how you get your MVP.
I totally agree with that outlook on MVP. And the Sixers come into tonight's game. Tonight in Salt Lake City, there's LeBron James. He and the 8th-place Lakers will run. Well, he won't, but the 9th-place Jazz are going to host them in this game. These two teams are separated by 2 games in the West standings. Utah wins tonight. It's a 1-game separation. LA wins tonight. It is a 3-game separation. A big one from Salt Lake City. And right now, we welcome in live on Arena Link, Lakers sideline reporter for Spectrum Sports Net, Mike Trudell. And Mike, it is great to see you. We know that LeBron James is going to miss at least the next 3 games, but he might return next Thursday against OKC on TNT. Are you optimistic about his chances of playing in that game?
Rick, first of all, it's great to see you, man, as always. And I'll just tell you what everybody else knows, or maybe doesn't know is a better way to put it, about LeBron, and that's whether or not he'll return in that game. We do know he's going to be reevaluated after these next 3 games, and you would theoretically think if all went well, maybe he can return for game action, but he is yet to practice yet, right? They haven't started to ramp things up. We don't have any reports of progress in that sense, other than the fact that he, of course, is improving just by not being out there in games. So it is a little bit of a wait-and-see mode, Rick, as the Lakers try to survive in what you mentioned is a very tight Western Conference playoff race.
No doubt about it, man. And what have the Lakers learned? I mean, you're with them every game and seeing it up close and personal. What have they learned about themselves in these 8 games without LeBron?
You know, so they're starting to get better. I think you have to put it into context as well that it's not just LeBron that's out. It's Rajon Rondo, who is kind of a secondary leader and playmaker, and then they missed Kyle Kuzma for 2.5 games when he had a lower back contusion, and we saw what Kuz did last game when he dropped 41 in 3 quarters. So that was certainly a key additional piece. When you have 3 guys out, it just makes things tricky. But the simple fact of it, Rick, offense is what's dropped off completely without LeBron. They ranked 28th in the league in offensive efficiency since LeBron went out on Christmas Day. Defense, on the other hand, has been great They've actually been the second best defensive team in the entire NBA over the course of that time frame. So that's what we've seen. LeBron has been that important to the offense. And, you got to shout out Rondo a little bit, too, for what he'd been doing.
No doubt. Great point and great stats right there as well. Now, Luke Walton recently told Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball to play with more passion. How was that message received?
Well, he said it after the Minnesota game, which was one of the worst games of the season for the Lakers. They weren't in it really right from the start. And Rick, especially for a couple of Minnesota guys like you and myself, probably watched that one. And as things went for the next couple of games, though, they really answered the bell. That was for a tough road win in Dallas, where the Mavs had been 15-3. And then, of course, the Lakers beat Detroit rather handily at home. And the way that Luke put it into context was, look, he always expects more from these players. It wasn't so much a criticism and a critique, although, of course, he was criticizing the last couple of games that they had put in. But when LeBron went out, that changed what the expectation was for those two players. And sometimes it takes a bit of an adjustment time from when you're just you're operating under a certain context, when LeBron's on the court, and then when he's not, you do have to change the approach. And Luke went to the public, and so far they've responded. And look, they're going to need him to do so again tonight if the Lakers are hopeful to get a win in a tough place to play right here in Utah.
Mike, really appreciate it, man. I'll be texting you in the days to come for intel on your Lakers. Enjoy the game, safe travels, and we'll talk soon.
Hey, my pleasure. Always good to see you, man.
That's my dude right there, Mike Trudell, Rick Kamla, Steve Smith, and Brendan Haywood here on Game Time Live, presented by State Farm. Now, Kyle Kuzma dropped a career-high 41 Wednesday in 29 minutes. It was a wide score, so his services weren't required in the fourth quarter. Last year, 16.1. This year, 18.8. Put his ascension into perspective.
Well, what I like about it is sometimes you score some points when you're not winning games. And now he's added to his point average, Brendan and Rick, and they're winning games. And he works on his game. He has the mindset and the size and ability to be a great guy to play off a guy like LeBron James or even off Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball before LeBron got there. This kid is a scorer's mentality. And I look at him as, yes, he doesn't pass a lot, Brendan and Rick, but this kid is a scorer, and it doesn't bother him. I am what I am. I play hard. I work on my game. I've been knowing him and seeing him since he was young in high school. This kid has that type of ability.
I think it's amazing when you look at his ascension. I think what's really, truly amazing about it is the fact that he wasn't supposed to be the guy. The guy that was supposed to make the big jump and be LeBron James' number 2 was Brandon Ingram. And when you look at how it's gone, he hasn't stepped on anybody's toes. He's just maximized his potential, and he's taken advantage of opportunities when they presented himself to them, like LeBron James being out right now. Now it's my chance to go for 40 and help us win a basketball game. That's something he might not have a chance to do when LeBron is there. So I look at him taking advantage of opportunity, the way he plays, the confidence, and I think that we're going to see him play even better because this was a guy that shot 36% from 3 last year. This year he's only shooting 30% from 3, and he's taking 6 threes a game. So that's a low percentage to take that amount of threes. We know he's going to catch up to that number that he shot last year at some point, and when he does, look for his scoring average to possibly go over 20.
And also, Brendan, he's going to have to rebound the basketball better. At that size, I can't come up with them 1 and 2s. He's going to have to get on the glass at that size.
And I know Brendan was clocking the rebound column in that 41-point game the other night.
Well, he normally averages about 6 rebounds. So I'm just going to say that's one of those anomaly games where he had it going, and he was just focusing strictly on his offense. When LeBron comes back,
go get on the glass.
Hey, when LeBron comes back, he'll be back to rebound again.
On the glass.
Look, Blake Griffin played 37 minutes the other night and had no rebounds, all right? It happens sometimes. So here's the scenario. Game on the line, you need a 3 to win. Who takes the shot? In this open court short, 3 expert sharpshooters, Hall of Famer Reggie Miller, Dennis 3D Scott, and Kenny the Jet Smith, discuss who they would give the rock to in the clutch.
Smith again. What a stroke for Kenny Smith. Throws it across. Miller for 3. Oh, he backed it in. He backed it in.
Hey, everybody. Matt here with 3 of the most accomplished shooters in NBA history. 3D, Dennis Scott, Kenny Smith, the Hall of Famer Reggie Miller. And so, of course...
This is a shooting show.
No, of course.
I was trying to figure out
I want to talk about shooting. One active player to take a game-winning shot. If you could choose, who is that guy?
Steph Curry, or Kevin Durant, or LeBron James.
Curry saves it 3. Steph good! Goes to the corner to shoot a 3 and hits to tie it up. Shot clock is on. James pull up for a three. Rainbow!
Any more?
To take a three to win a game.
I take all three of those. Even LeBron James, in terms of his ability to get it off, he'll get it off comfortably because of his size, strength, and ball handling ability. So he would get it off comfortably. He doesn't shoot with the same accuracy as those other two guys, but he gets a better comfort level at times than those two guys.
For me, active, if we're just trying to get a shot clock's going down, it's Kyrie Irving. His ball handling ability to be able to get to any spot on the floor and get his shot off, to your point, he's going to get his shot off. And he's one of the few point guards, well, there's a lot of point guards in the league, and can shoot the three.
Definitely guys that I probably would have picked, but if I'm going with someone with ice water in their veins, need a shot, I'm going with Dame Lillard. A guy that can create his own shot, or you can put him in a high pick and roll, shoots with depth, can shoot deep, and if you foul him, he's going to make foul shots.
Does the answer change for any of you if I say it's a catch and shoot three to win a game?
Klay Thompson.
Yeah. Catch and shoot, I would add Klay to the catch and shoot. Like, it swung back out to him. I would add Klay to that for sure.
You know, it's funny, we were talking, James Harden.
Ooh, yes, to get a bucket, yes.
He could do.
Oh, my goodness, to get a bucket, yeah.
I mean, we're not
catch the dribble, off the dribble.
Off the dribble, he's
off the
great,
dribble, no question about it.
He gets to walk and shoot it. So he gets he gets to do the running man.
I'll make it harder. Let's go back in history. Any player who's ever played to win a game with a three.
Oh, we're sitting right here.
Oh,
who are you picking?
No, there's a lot of guys.
No, I'm not. You could go last if you're not going to talk about yourself.
I'm gonna go with Larry Legend.
No.
To make a three. He said to make a three, right?
To make a three.
To make a three at the end of the game.
Celtics have got 3 seconds. Bird, a runner. It's good!
I'm going with Larry Legend.
I'm going with the guy sitting here only because the moment for Larry is always the moment. For Reggie, he creates more moments, meaning he's looking for an opportunity. I think at times you hope we get down 3. You know, so there's a difference. But Larry's like, no, I'm not even going to let you get up. I'm going to beat you. He's waiting for that moment. And so for me, watching Reggie over the years, I would have to say Reggie would be the guy I would be. Like,
good looking, Ken.
No, but and take it a step further, with Larry, as much as we, love his shooting, he's not going to get open in that situation. Where you, and I'm going to throw Ray Allen into the mix, both of you guys are going to get open because you're probably the best running without the basketball, running off screens and getting open.
I'm going to put Larry second, though. I wasn't like,
Kenny, Larry's third. Ray Allen's above him. Well, come on now. Ray Allen and Reggie Miller, we need a three. Larry's not getting open. Him and Ray are getting open to get that three off.
Rebound, Bosh. Back out to Allen. His three-pointer. Bang!
There's a guy that I would want to be in this mix because he's the leading three-point shooter in the history of playoffs over certain attempts. You know who that guy is, right?
Kenny the Jets man.
You know.
I was waiting for that.
You're looking at
That leads to my next question. You may have already answered it, but if in a theoretical world where I could play and I had to choose one of the three of you to win a game with a three, where am I going?
We're all going to pick ourselves. That's how confident we. I mean, in all of our careers that we've all hit game winners, we've all hit buzzer beaters, so we know we can do it. So if you're asking openly, I want to, as much as I love both these guys, I want to take that shot first.
I would honestly say that these guys were better three-point shooters in this regard. That was such a big part of their diet. And for me, it became a part of my diet later on. But I had to learn to be that. It is, like Reggie Miller, we played at UCLA in Pauley Pavilion and in North Carolina. We were like, guard him from here.
Right.
That didn't come into my life until about my 4th year in the NBA. It was always part of Dennis Scott's repertoire, a steady part of that diet, the long ball shot. I was catching up with you all the time.
Right.
Now, I just still think I can shoot the ball. But I just know that you guys it was a better diet.
We all have different strengths at different times. Sure. But at the end of a game, to a man, we're all going to say, put the ball in our hands. Kenny wants those shots.
Yeah, one of the
biggest
moments. We were actually in the biggest moments in Rocket and Orlando basketball history. Hit a three-pointer to tie the game to send it to overtime in the NBA Finals.
He's been on fire and hits. He's tied the game.
But before that, this dude,
In the regulation,
he comes
right.
back and hits another one.
Back to Scott for three, and he's
Back to back.
Yep.
It was him and I.
You haven't made my job any easier.
Well, hey, how about this? Who are you gonna pick? If your life depended on it, and your family's life depended on it, and they needed a three to get them out. Come on, man.
I will answer the question. I've got bad news for you and my family. I turned it over before I ever got it. You lost the game.
I will tell you this: if you
Why
do
I'm
it
sitting here and not there.
if you gave it to any of us, your family lives.